First of all, thank you. Thank you for spreading the word about this series. I can't tell you how excited my producer and I get when we learn that women around the world are listening in big cities and in tiny towns. And I pray for these stories. Don't laugh, but I do. I open my arms and I say, send me the stories. And they come to me, like today's story, which started in Tehran. Mojgan Anvari Brumby is the daughter of a 4-time world champion Greco-Roman wrestler who represented Iran in the 1968 and the 1972 Olympics. Her childhood was peaceful and her family was well respected by the Shah of Iran. And then the Islamic Revolution happened, and Mojgan's life was forever changed. Her father was arrested. Her parents' property was confiscated. Her success story is living proof that when adversity strikes, you find out how strong you really are. In the United States since 2001, she is now the founder of Blue Monarch, a beautiful skincare line of all-natural traditional Persian remedies passed down to her from generations of women in her family. What a story. Mojgan, welcome to the story behind her success.
Hi, Candy. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Let's get the cameras rolling. Look at that gorgeous hair. And, of course, your skin is just translucent. And we're going to talk a lot about that. But first, we have to go to what we call Candy O's Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and I just need whatever you think of as the answer. Nice, short answers. And this lets people know a little bit about you. You ready?
Yes.
Name a sport you are really good at.
Oh, that's a good question.
Greco-Roman wrestling?
No, absolutely not. No, swimming.
Oh, good. You and me both. Okay. Right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
What is your greatest fear?
Greatest fear? Not being able to move and do things.
When and where are you most happiest?
With my family. When everybody's together.
Like a big family dinner?
Yes.
There's a quick response, and it gives us a little bit about your personality. So let's dive into the interview. Take me back to your childhood in Iran. Can you do me a favor and paint a picture of the country you remember from your childhood?
Beautiful country. People were nice. People were hospitable, kind. My childhood was awesome. I was lucky. All summers we spent in orchards. My both grandparents, on both sides, they owned orchards. And
what did they grow in the orchard?
All sorts of fruits. So I got to taste every fruit off the tree, which tastes totally different than what you buy at the store. And climbing trees, falling off of them, and horseback riding, and it was beautiful. I got to experience things. No one would say, "Don't do this, don't do that." It was just, "Be careful, don't hurt yourself," which most of the time I did. I was covered with scratch, and
it sounds like you were a tomboy.
I was, and I always, every time I saw a tree, I imagined what would the view look like from the top. And I cried to climb it.
You must have been very proud of your father. I'm going to guess he was a bit of a national hero.
He was. Everybody knew who we were, and wherever we went, we were respected. People loved him because of what he did. He was the reason the flag was recognized in the world in Olympics. And so it
sounds like he was a real trailblazer, huh?
He was.
A 4-time champion, world champion, and then he goes to 2 Olympic Games. Yes. What did he tell you about the Olympic Games? And, of course, the 72 Olympics in Munich, that was a very violent experience for the Olympians.
That was a terrible one. He said, you can't imagine anything like that. It was, and he always said, I can't understand why people can't just live in peace. Just respect each other's beliefs. Just, live in peace. It was terrifying to him. He talked about it a lot. That, that was the reason. He was saying that you got to respect other people. You got to have love for other people. And don't try to change anybody. Just be good.
Powerful lessons for a child to hear. Give me a little history of your family. You have this ancestral ancestral, for goodness sake. Give me a little history of your family in Iran. You had ancestral land property. You've said that it was orchards. How long
Yes.
had they been in your family's lives?
Generations and generations. And it was like there were trees in those properties that with my cousins, we couldn't even hold them. We would, like few of us would hold a circle around and hug the tree. They were that old. And land was a big deal to my grandparents, always.
I have read that whenever you got hurt climbing one of those trees, your grandmother had a special remedy for you. Tell me all about that.
She did. She always had a remedy for something, either my grandma or my aunt, depending on what side of the family I was in at that time. And she always said, try this. If it didn't work, then go to the doctor. That was her thing.
And she would just make these remedies in the kitchen?
Yeah, everything. She's got herbs, oils, and she would mix them. Most of the time there was an egg in something. Just beat it in.
Despite the losses that your family experienced in the Islamic Revolution, you love your country. I'm sure that you do.
I do.
Tell me what it was like, though, for your family from your point of view when the Islamic Revolution happened.
It was, I remember I was a little kid, but I do remember hearing the gunshot and the sound and the chaos and all that. It was scary, and not knowing what's going to happen to our dad. And the sad thing is my dad wasn't a politician or nothing. He was an athlete. He was respected by everybody, and Shah respected him because he was an athlete, nothing else. But they just, because my dad had pictures with Shah, they wanted to kill him. And they took a lot of our properties from both sides. And it was a sad time. And
how do you stay strong in a situation like that? What did you learn from watching your parents go through that?
Scary. It was. And I still, to this day, I do have that trauma with me, that there is no certainty to anything. Anything can change overnight like that. It's scary to have that feeling in the back of your head all the time.
Despite these losses, your parents insisted that you go off to school.
Yes, it was a big deal. My dad always said, there's no difference between you and your brother. Whatever he can do, you can do. Do not give me the excuse that you're a girl. He didn't like that. So it was awesome growing up like that. And
very empowering.
Being encouraged. And he didn't like us being shy. He said, every time you're spoken to, you speak. Don't be shy. Come, say hi to everybody. And it was stand up for yourself. If you're being bullied, don't come complain to me. Stand up for yourself.
Powerful lessons.
Yes.
You go off to law school in Tehran, and you intern in the Islamic Family Court. And what you saw there changed your life.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
It was painful when I learned that the mother in Islamic law has absolutely no right to her kids. Absolutely no right. She's nothing. And, these mothers trying to keep their kids, trying to make a good life for their kids. Like, let's say if the husband was a drug addict, she couldn't do anything. She couldn't even take her kids. If she wanted to get divorced, not being beaten up by a junkie and taking everything away from her. It was sad, and it was like a big hit to my head that, where am I living? What is this? As a woman, Islamic law has no respect. You don't exist. You're the second gender. And, growing up before the revolution, women had key roles in everything. Women had rights in everything. And then the Islamic Revolution came. And as a girl, you inherit half of what your brother inherits from your parents because you're half. If you're asked to give testimony, you have to ask another woman to come to testify. So it would count as one testimony compared to a man. So learning all these and seeing that literally I could do nothing for these women to help them because you were handcuffed by the Islamic law. That was it. Take it or leave it.
So what did you do?
Left. So
Scary moment.
yeah, it was.
Did you have a conversation with your parents, or did they say, you know what, just go, don't make a big fuss about it? How did it all happen? How did you, because I know you got in a little bit of trouble
I did.
for speaking out. Can we talk about that for a second?
I did at the school and out on the street. I got arrested a couple of times and
For doing what?
for complaining, for protesting, defending a woman and that she was being abused. And it's I get emotional even thinking about being in those situations. I don't wish it on anybody. So
Were you
it was-
scared?
oh gosh, yeah, I was scared.
Were you thrown in jail?
Yes, and I didn't know what's going to happen to me. That's the thing, because again, Islamic law allows the cop or prosecutor or whomever to use rape to get confession. So it's allowed. It's by law allowed to rape a female prisoner to get confession out of her. So thank God that didn't happen to me, but I imagine how scared I was.
Sitting there thinking this could happen at any minute.
Yes.
So you decide that you're going to leave your country.
Yes.
Your parents suggest that that's probably a good idea for you to do that.
Yeah. My mom said you can't bring the spring with one flower. So spring never comes with just you trying to make a difference. And my dad, before, what the time that revolution happened, we had cousins that got arrested and put in jail. Actually, one cousin, she's still there. She was 14 years old when she was arrested and put in jail, and she was in prison till she was 20 years old. For protesting, she went with her older sister on the street, and they got her. So my dad always warned us, don't get stuck with these people, because then you're going to be thrown in a black hole and no one can do anything about it. So I was lucky because my dad, there were still people who respected and loved my dad, that they were still in the law enforcement. And when my dad went and said, my daughter is in trouble, and they did a favor for him, I was lucky. A lot of people were not.
You were one of the lucky ones.
I was. And
You got a 6-month visa.
yes.
You got on an airplane and you landed in Los Angeles, California.
Yes.
Close your eyes. Take me back to when that plane landed and you were here in this country.
I was so happy that I cried when I landed here. And still to this day, every morning, I'm grateful that I'm here. It was, and my mom, when I called her back to say, Mom, I landed, I'm fine. And she said, what was the first thing that you noticed? I said, Mom, I can laugh out loud and no one is going to judge me for it or question or anything. People just get happy that I'm happy. And that was the first thing. It was a big deal. I could wear whatever color I wanted, because after Islamic Revolution, we were just black or brown. It was
Did you feel free
world.
in the truest sense of the world?
Free. I loved being there, and people were so nice. There were so many people that helped me when I got there, and with my terrible English, not knowing anybody.
So you go through customs and you're
Yes.
all by yourself. How old are you?
I was 23.
23 years
yeah.
old, walking through customs. And I've been to LAX a million times.
Oh, gosh.
It's a
Yeah.
zoo,
It
right?
is.
You poor thing. You must have just looked like a lost puppy. And then you
Yes.
get out of there and there's the world.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
What happened next?
I met people. I asked them for guidance. I hired an attorney, the first thing basically, to make sure I can stay and start.
So you wanted asylum here.
Yes. And my case was accepted right away. And they were actually the gentleman who interviewed me. He looked at the picture on my Iranian passport, which was with the scarf and everything, and he looked at me. I had my makeup on, I had my hair done, and I was like presentable and everything. He looked at me and said, "You're too pretty to go look like that again."
Boy, that really puts it together, doesn't it?
It was funny, yes. And he was actually, the interview took a long time. He asked all sorts of questions, and he was familiar with he knew Tehran street by street. It was interesting. He was very knowledgeable of the culture and
he helped you.
He helped, yes.
You know, it was interesting because you landed in Los Angeles just 5 months before 9/11.
Yes.
What was your reaction to the attacks on that day?
I was heartbroken.
And did you experience prejudice by fearful Americans who misunderstood you? Did you ever
No.
experience anything like that?
No, actually, it was interesting that at that time, people were asking me if I was okay. No, I did not experience any prejudice or
Good.
rudeness or
Good.
being treated badly at all. I've heard some people have been, but they were concerned if I'm okay.
That's
And
good.
yeah, no, it's just, I know I was sad. I was heartbroken.
I was told that you learned how to speak English by listening to talk radio. Is this true?
Yes.
So would you drive along in the car and then just say whatever the man on the radio said or the woman on the radio said? Tell me how this worked.
Yeah, a friend at the time told me, look, you are here in this country, you want to learn the language, you want to learn the culture, or you just want to go back to the Persian community, shop at the Persian store. And I said, no, I want to learn the culture. I loved it. When I was a kid, I watched the Tom Sawyer cartoon or Lucky Luke and all that. I just wanted to come here, learn the culture, see the Mississippi River and all that.
Well, you were far away from the Mississippi River in
Yes.
Los Angeles. That's
But I
for
did
sure.
make it.
Okay, good.
Yes. And
So there you are listening to the radio.
yeah, it said, listen to the radio, and little by little, you understand. So I did. And after a while, I started understanding what they were talking about. And I'm like, oh, this is not a nice radio.
I can only imagine. I spent my whole life in radio, and I'm thinking, oh, God, what was she listening to?
Oh, gosh. And then I went to the same friend and I said, this radio, they talk bad about women. What is up with that?
And she just said, turn the station. There's plenty more stations to listen to.
I said, what radio are you listening to? I said, I don't know, some guy named Tom Lockis or something. And he laughed and said, that's a guy show. Why are you listening to that? So it was funny.
So you got your start at an insurance company. You were filing papers. You were literally a clerk in the office.
Yes.
But you rose to become the office administrator. You were running the place. And then you were hired away
Yes.
by Citicorp or by Citigroup to lead their home equity division.
Yes.
How did all this feel for you?
Awesome. This is the opportunity land. You work hard, you get where you want to go. And I did. I worked hard. And I have to say, there were a lot of people that helped me along the way. Some of them I don't even remember anything like name or address or phone number about them. But I tried to help others to pay forward in their memory because they helped me. At that first job that I had, there was a lady, her name was Maria Bonilla. And I didn't know that you don't pronounce L. For a while, I called her Bonilla. And she was so sweet. I would ask what was on the papers that I was filing. She would explain everything to me. And it was a great help. Every day I learned more and more about, the insurance, the finance, all that stuff. And I'm grateful to all those nice people that helped me.
At some point, you decided that you wanted to tap into your roots and start a skincare line. And it's taken you 20 years to do this. Tell us all about it. The company is called Blue Monarch. Where did the name come from?
I'm not sure if you've ever been to Monterey, California. Every November, monarch butterflies, they travel from Mexico and they come to Monterey. All these eucalyptus trees are covered with butterflies. And it's just beautiful. They're the regular monarch ones, but I love blue, so I picked the blue monarch. To me, it was fascinating that they are so delicate, so tiny and beautiful, but they're tough enough to travel so far away. And I was like, it's like women. We are delicate. We are beautiful, but we are tough. We get things done. We get places. So
And
that
so
was
there's the name, Blue
Yes.
Monarch.
Yes.
Boy, I love that. And you've brought some products for us today as well.
Yes.
Tell me what sets you apart from the rest.
The brand, if you mean the product,
Yes, please.
is there are touches of the old Persian remedies in our products. Like I use herbs, old herbs that are, I have to still bring the herb from there to use the extract for our product. And I test everything on myself. Every single product that we have is tested on me.
And it's all organic.
Yes, all
And no
organic.
synthetic materials of any
Correct.
kind, and no animals hurt.
No, we do not test an animal. As I said,
It's just you.
Yes, it gets tested on me. I give it
It's
to
Mojgan tested.
Yes, and we are Leaping Bunny certified, and as you know, they check every year. They check our products, and we don't use any unnecessary ingredients in our product. There's no fragrance. There's no coloring. Everything you smell is the smell of the extract or the flowers or the herbs that we use in our products. We get our products. We have 30 women that they are self-evaluated. They test our products. So we have good results. We make sure that the product you get is wholesome and it's going to do the things you expect it to do.
Tell us about some of your products. What are your biggest sellers?
Actually, our cleanser. Facial cleanser is very gentle. We sell a lot of that. We have our Divine Time body oil and our serum. These are the three that we sell a lot, and there are good reasons behind it.
What is your philosophy about skincare and self-care?
A lot of women take, good measures on what they eat. They exercise, but they fail, as we were, on our skincare product. You have to if you're looking to have a healthy lifestyle, you have to look at all corners of the healthy lifestyle, not just a few. So skincare is most of the time is being looked over, and people just don't pay too much attention to it. But it should be, because your skin absorbs 60% of what you put on it, and it gets into your bloodstream within 26 seconds. So imagine whatever you put on your skin, it's going to end up in your internal organs. And how important is your health?
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Made in the USA. Why does that matter so much to you?
As a kid, everything that came from the U.S. was good stuff. So I love United States. I'll give my life for this country. The freedom I have, the peaceful life, the beautiful life I have, it's for this country. And I want to create the jobs here. I want to give back to the community here, which I am. I'm supporting nonprofit organizations. I mentor as much as I can, and I want everything to be made here. So when our product says product of United States, it is completely from scratch, made here. Even the boxes, everything you can imagine is made here.
The products are available also online at
Yes.
bluemonarch.com. And you've just opened up your first store just outside of Boston. What did that feel like to open the door and have people come into this beautiful store?
Like a dream. It was just the first day that we opened. I was like, oh my God, am I dreaming, or this is for real? And the longer we're open and people come back and they tell me their experience with the product is just so rewarding. It makes my heart happy. Again, it's just knowing that we are making a difference and people actually benefiting from our products.
This is also a story, Mojgan, about perseverance. What is your message to a woman who is listening to our program somewhere in the world, and she has a dream, And she wants to break free. She wants to soar. She wants to laugh. She wants to wear what she wants to wear. What do you say to her?
There is nothing stopping you for being who you are. No one says it's easy, but you want easy or you want what you want. You want to make your dream happen. So go for it. Never is late. Don't ever think it's gone. My time is gone. Whenever it is. Make it happen. So when the time comes and you're an old lady sitting there, you look back, you say, I did what I could, not what I was allowed to do.
There's so much controversy right now about immigration. You got your 6-month visa, and then you were granted asylum, and you've said here on this program, I love this country.
Too.
Tell me what your swearing-in day was like.
Oh, I cried the whole time. It was a huge space, and there were people from all over the world. And the whole, when you enter, they have pictures on the stage of the mountains of the United States, of the land, of everything. And you just, the music is playing and the flag and all these people coming in. First of all, they said, I was supposed to give up my green card to enter the room. And I'm like, I didn't want to give that. And the lady said, ma'am, you want to go in? You got to give me a green card. So I said, okay. I went in and I was emotional the whole time. And they said, when we say the country that you come from, stand up, put your hand on your heart. And that was just, I was sobbing. I was so happy that this is how I felt like I was born again. I was like, this is that. I made it.
Do you miss Iran?
I miss my cousins. I miss the orchards. I miss the mountains. Be honest with you, I don't miss being there because it was terrible, and I know it's worse now. But
is your land gone now?
Some still there, but they took a lot, unfortunately. But it is what it is. You get up and make it happen again.
What's the best advice you have ever received? And can you pass it along to someone listening today?
If you want to learn and do, no one can stop you. If you don't, no one can make you. So it's all in you. God is in you. Your power is in you. You use it or not. It's your choice. Do not ever blame anything or anybody for you not succeeding.
When an obstacle is in your path, how do you get around it?
Like a running water. When it hits a boulder, it might get stopped for a little bit, but then it will find a way around it. So there is always a way. And I try to be like the running water.
That young woman sitting on the airplane, looking out the window at Los Angeles Airport back in 2001, she had no idea how this story was going to end up.
No.
What would you say to her now?
I was hard-headed, and I'm amazed. I would say, congratulations, you did it, you hard-headed girl.
People measure success in different ways, in different chapters of their lives. You're still a very young woman and so beautiful and such a really lovely way about you.
Thank you.
What does success mean to you right now?
To me, success is having the ability to make a difference. And I do have that ability now. I do feel I am very successful. I'm happy with everything I've done. Again, there are things in our lives that, I wish I'd done it a different way. But again, as a result of all those, I am where I am. I get to help people. I get to make a difference in my community, in the lives of a lot of people. So that's success to me.
I want to say thank you so much, Mojgan Anvari.
Yes.
Is that the way to say it? Yes. Mojgan Anvari Brumby. Thank you so much for being this week's guest
Thank you
on the
so much.
story behind her success.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.